Hello and welcome to the Two Irish Brothers show. As you can see, Ben and Sean are not here today. It is me, Guy Fawkes, and a co host that is the great Iron Cheek.
I am the Iron Sheik, the greatest wrestler of all time. But before we go any further, in honor of my late friend, the great Nikolai Volkov, I want to say this. Russia, number one. Iran, number one. USA, hak to. What is your name again? How you say your name?
Guy Fawkes.
Fox. You going fox hunting, or what are you fawking? Are you trying to fox something?
Not
What
today.
kind of? You're not trying to fawk anything.
Not
Iron
today.
Sheik, Iron Sheik, I try fawk many things, mostly women. But sometimes, and camel get in way, and you can't help, you have to work with what you have. So, anyway, Mr. Fox, we here to talk Notre Dame football, like I talk a many time with Jean Min Okerlund in my wrestling days. And let me tell you something, the Iron Sheik, it's better to have me here, better than that jabroni Andy Sean 45. Fuck him. Hack to Andy Sean 45. That sick jabroni. He pathetic at what he does. Iron Sheik here to prove he better. What do you say?
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. Listen, you jabroni. Time already has tell. I am the great wrestling champion. I Olympian from my country of Iran. And I beat that jabroni motherfucker Bob Backlund back in 1984 for world title with my manager, the great Freddy Blassie. But then that no good motherfucky jabroni Hulk Hogan come take title away from Sheiky Baby. And I still hold grudge against that jabroni today. Hack to Hulk Hogan.
Interesting.
So we here talk Notre Dame football, the college level. So they had great win over North Carolina Tar Heel last night, Guy Fawkes. Now, first off, what are your thoughts?
Well, the game could have been better, but it could have been worse. As
How
we
you
saw,
mean? How you mean could be worse?
well, Notre Dame could have lost.
Oh yes, they could lost like I lost my world title, which Hulk Hogan never gave me rematch for. And that jabroni, he owe me rematch. But look, I digress too much. I here talk Notre Dame football. But yes, we could have lost last night to North Carolina Tar Heel and that Mac Brown, the jabroni Mac Brown. Why he's still coaching? He's 70 years old.
Yeah, there was lots of bedlam yesterday. Um, Michigan lost to Michigan State, and Iowa lost. So Notre Dame moves up to 8 in the polls. And as the guys that we're filling in for have said, you just got to keep winning. Just got to keep winning. And Notre Dame, was in a dogfight yesterday, but they found a way to win.
Speaking of guys that we filling in for, you know how I feel about the ND Sean 45, that stupid jabroni. What do you feel? I'm kind of mixed on that jabroni, that Irish Benjamin 57. What the hell? I think he carry load for two Irish brothers between him and ND Sean 45. That no good jabroni.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about him to pass judgment, but I think both of them are okay.
Well, let me tell you something. Iron Sheik, I know say this before. I know go public with this, but I go public with it now. I watch two Irish brothers all the time, and I have one big secret to admit. I want to rub the bald head of that Irish Benjamin 57 because it looks so shiny. And you can't help but rub it, and maybe it bring you good wish, like a rematch with the Hulk Hogan, that stupid motherfucking jabroni.
I have heard people do rub it for good luck. I have heard that
Oh, that's awesome. Have you rubbed Irish Benjamin 57 bald head?
once or twice.
Oh, that's cool. Now I wish I get that opportunity. But that motherfucker Andy Sean 45, to hell with him.
So what did you think about the offensive performance that Notre Dame did yesterday? I mean, 44 points is one of the highest totals they've had all season.
I think of the Irish offense. The Irish offense in South Bend, Indiana last night, they performed well. They performed very well. I think they put up at least like 500 yards offense. I need to get stats in front of me. But the Kylan Williams, that running back, boy, was he good. He was really good. It was nice to see the whole offensive line unit come together to open up holes for him and running backs. Because let's see here. Kylan Williams, oh my goodness. He had 22 carries, 199 yard. He 1 yard shy of 200 yards on the ground and one touchdown. But the one touchdown that Kylan Williams have, it was very impressive touchdown run. He was zigging and zagging all the way around, and he break at 91 yards downfield for the 6-point touchdown. Very impressive. But what I also really impressed with are the contribution of the young freshman player like Logan Diggs. He had 11 carries for 42 yards and one touchdown. Then you have Lorenzo Styles, freshman wide receiver, leading the day, 74 yards on 3 catches. Avery Davis, he continued to impress the Island Sheik, Sheiky baby, very impressed with him. 5 catches for 51 yards and 1 touchdown. Michael Mayer, the tight end, nice to see him back in action. 51 yards, 4 catches. Kevin Austin, 36 yards on 3 catches and 1 touchdown. Overall, I'm so very happy with the offense and the quarterback play to Jack Cohn Jack from Wisconsin. Hey, do you just hear what I said? I said the Cone Jack. Make it kind of sound like cognac, which the Iron Sheik could use a few glasses of some cognac. Do you want cognac, Guy Fawkes?
Mm, maybe.
Have you ever had the cognac?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I drink a lot of cognac, but of course, the Sheiky baby, in his experience, I use the white powder that you put up nose. And well, let's just say I've been in trouble with that a few times in my career and my life. But I have no regrets. But I digress too much on my personal business. But Jack Cohn, the cognac, ha ha ha, little Sheiky baby, make a joke. Um, he passed for 213 yards, 16 of 24, ends in 1 touchdown. So a very steady performance. Only sack a 1 time this game, which go back to the offensive line play. The offensive line, they starting to gel as a unit.
Yes, Jack Cohn looked really good yesterday. He finally kind of was able to settle down a little bit, and we saw some shorter passes that got the ball out of his hand very quickly, and that suits him better than having him drop back and have to make plays with his feet. So I was very impressed with that. The play calling is definitely improving a little bit on the offensive side. So that's nothing to scoff at, and the 1 sack is good to see, especially since he was averaging about 7 sacks a game. So that's really good for the up and up in Notre Dame.
The Sheiky baby have to say something about that. That the 1 sack, you can't really blame it on the offensive line. That was a case where Jacques Cohn, he hold on to ball too long. He held on the ball for like 5 or 6 seconds, so I'm no surprise he got sacked. But when you go back watch that play, the offensive line was doing their job well.
Yes, he should have at least rolled out and gotten rid of the ball, but we're not playing obviously, so not
And
much you can do
we
there.
talk about Jack Cohn and the running game. He actually have rushing touchdown. Can you believe that?
No, it was quite shocking.
I was impressed with that, and it's hard to really impress the Sheiky baby, But what really impressed me though is when I take that Brian Blair, I put him in the camel clutch and I make him humble. That's what impressed me. I impressed myself. So yeah, do you even know who Brian Blair is?
No, I do not.
Okay, well, let's just say he's a fucking jabroni. Lots of fucking jabronis that I come across. He opened big mouth. He talked bad about the island sheik. So I take care of business and I break his back.
Impressive. Very impressive.
Well, thank you very much. I a former world champion for a reason, you know.
That I did know.
Okay, all right, great, great. But I got to be honest with you, Guy Fawkes. You know, I got to say hack to our defense last night. They don't play well at all. They may make a great play, but overall, it was not a good performance. They play like bunch of jabronis last night.
Yes, Kyle Hamilton was very much missed in the game last night. Football is a team sport, but his impact on the defense really makes or breaks that situation for them.
Yes,
Um,
it did.
lots of blown coverages, lots of really big gash plays. Just very pitiful performance overall. And without that offensive production, Notre Dame would have been in a lot of trouble.
Yes, yeah, that's been the. It's been the opposite all season. Usually, it's the defense that had to bail offense out all season. But last night was the complete opposite. This was the worst defense play since the opening game against the State Florida Seminoles. It was not good performance last night. I mean, we gave up 500 plus yards of offense, and it's just unacceptable for the Iron Sheik. Just as unacceptable as George Bashola wearing the English leather cologne.
Yes, I saw that episode. That was quite funny.
And George Bashola, he said he never wear English leather cologne. Well, shame on him for not wearing English leather cologne. The Sheiky baby wear like English leather cologne all time back in the 80s. And boy, did it get me plenty of action with the ladies and a couple of camels even.
Sam Howell and
You just
Josh,
ignore that fact completely.
some things are left better unsaid, Iron Cheek. Some things are left better unsaid.
Okay, if you say so, Iron Sheik, I say a lot of things. I think lots of things need to be said.
But Sam Howell and Josh Downs definitely had the connection that Notre Dame was afraid of. Josh Downs, 142 yards receiving, and Sam Howell, 341 yards passing. So just those two guys alone just gave the Notre Dame defense just absolute fits. And as we said, it was a very pitiful performance from the defense, and it would have been interesting to see what Kyle Hamilton would have done with this situation, and what kind of an impact he would have had. But we can't forget that the rushing, Sam Howell gained 117 yards rushing as a quarterback, and then right behind him is Ty Chandler with 85 yards. So that's a lot of rushing yards being given up by the defensive line.
Well,
Not
what
enough pressure on the quarterback. So just an absolute struggle yesterday.
Well, what really upset Iron Sheik the most is all the missed tackles. The tackling was just poor last night. It's just I gave a big hock to the tackling. I don't hate these guys. I know these defensive players. They play hard. They practice hard every week. But if it doesn't show on field in game time, then it was a bad performance, and you did not do well that week. You need to rebound next week because teams that are bigger than North Carolina Tar Heel, they make you pay big time. We want to go to NY6 Bowl. You cannot play like that. Horrible performance. Horrible performance. You need to rebound next week against the United States Naval Academy.
Yeah, and the defense is gonna have its work cut out for it next week. That's for sure.
Well, those guys that normally host this show, Eilish Benjamin 57 and the jabroni ND Sean 45. Screw him to hell. They'll be back to discuss that game in the next video. We just fill in for this one video.
Yes, yes.
But
But
I just
overall, Notre Dame did well. Yesterday they got the win, and in the chaotic world that we live in currently with football, survive, survive, and move on, and always room for improvement.
well, let me ask you something, Guy Fawkes. this coming Tuesday, and I'm sure that Jabroni ND Sean 45 and the cool one, the Irish Benjamin 57, will discuss this in the next video. But we've seen all sorts of projections from many different people in the college football and analysts. How you say, is it analyst or analyst?
Analyst.
Okay. I think a Shiki baby's brain somewhere else, right there. But what do you see the first playoff prediction show, the first playoff ranking coming out this Tuesday? What could you see the top four and the first two out being, in your opinion?
Top four: Georgia number one, Alabama number two, Cincinnati number three, Michigan State number four. First two out. First two out. That's a good question about the first two out. Let me think about the first two out. You give your take.
Well, I think the Georgia Bulldogs number one. That's unanimous amongst everybody, I think, at this point. The number two team, oh boy, I would think it would have to be probably the Oklahoma Sooners. I mean, they are undefeated. They have struggles, but they undefeated. Number three, probably the Alabama Crimson Tide. Number four, just because they undefeated, they won only toughest game on on their schedule, which was the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, the Cincinnati Bearcats. Probably the first two out, the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Michigan State Spartans.
My first two out would be Oklahoma and Ohio State.
We're both kind of on same page, same kind of teams, just different position. But let me ask you something, Guy Fawkes. We've heard it enough from the Jabroni ND Sean 45 and the cool one Irish Benjamin 57 all the time. Do you think the college football playoff need to expand?
Yes.
How many teams?
12.
You like a 12? Okay, I like a 12 too. At the very least, they could at least start with 6 and see how it go.
I agree.
But the sad part is we both know that even if it was 12, there'll still be people bitching and complaining. Just like a lot of fans in the ND fan base who complain all the time, even after victories. We 7-1. And we still have people complaining. Well, fuck all those jabronis and the big mouth online tough guy warriors that they all are.
Yeah, people always complain. Yep.
But if they show up to me face to face, I put them in the camel clutch and I make them all humble, because that's what the Iron Sheik do. I did to Hulk Hogan. I did to Brian Blair. I did to that chump Bob Backlund, who I won the title from. Because his own coach, Arnold Skellen, throw the towel in on him. But the Iron Sheik, he reigns supreme. He reigns supreme all time. That's all right. You have no clue what to say after that, do you?
Shaking in my boots.
Yeah, you will be shaking in your boots if I was standing right there by you, because the Iron Sheik, he faced down anybody.
I believe it.
Well, can I tell you a quick story? Yesterday, the Sheik go to gas station to buy Twix Bar Coca-Cola. I gets the flat tire, and I see this big old beast woman come up, ask me for autograph, and ask. I'm sorry, I get something stuck in my throat there. She asked me on date. Well, I say no way. I knock her ass down. I put her in camel clutch, and then I take some of that English leather and I cover her in it, which a George Bashura refused to use. What do you think about that, Guy Fawkes? Pretty interesting story, yes or no?
Interesting story for sure.
Okay. Well, Iron Sheik, all lot of stuff to talk about. Jean Min Okerlund no here to ask me any question. Do you have anything that you'd like to talk about?
I have nothing.
I have one last thing to say. Chicago Bear defense, a bunch of jabronis. At least the Notre Dame defense, despite a poor performance, made plays and win game.
Yep, you're not wrong.
How's the Dolphins do today?
They're playing the Bills. They're probably losing.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough. The Buffalo Bill. That's a tough hill for anyone to climb. But the Iron Sheik would climb it. The jabroni Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. I take them and put them in camel clutch and make them humble. No, I probably won't. No, I probably won't, but it felt good to say it. So I think you're actually laughing under that mask, but nobody can tell.
You would probably be correct.
Okay, I know I'm correct because I can tell right away. You wear a smile mask, you laugh underneath mask. You ain't fooling nobody, Guy Fawkes. Okay, well, since we don't have anything left to talk about, want to wish everyone happy Halloween. And I'm sorry, I gotta apologize to everybody, but this last time you probably see Iron Sheik on page, you stuck back with that jabroni no good piece of shit ND Sean 45. Thankfully, Irish Benjamin here to cover the load and make you all happy.
Before we go, please hit the like button down below. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, take us away, Iron Cheek.
As always, we say the God bless, go Irish, and have a good night, everybody.
Go Irish.